Hey there, how's it going? I'm Aiden Schmaden. Today, I will be looking into games that are kind of like Mario Kart, but not actually Mario Kart. If you didn't know already, I love Mario Kart, and at the time of recording, this channel is almost completely dedicated to Mario Kart. And with that, I'm a little bit tired of Mario Kart, so I thought I should find an alternative game that is like Mario Kart, but different enough to be a fresh new experience. I playtested through 4 different games that I think are similar enough to Mario Kart, but not full carbon copies of the series. Now that my short intro is over, if you like this video, give it a like. If you like anything else I do here, please consider subscribing. And now, onto the first game. So, my original script ended up getting lost because I was experimenting with what software I was planning to use to record my voice with, but anyways, that's not really all that important. Garfield Kart Furious Racing is probably the most boring and least fun game in this video. Garfield Kart 2, as I'm now gonna call it, kind of pulled an Overwatch 2 and decided it was going to be the same as the first game, but with a few minor changes. Garfield Kart 1 was already just a nothing game, and Garfield Kart 2 didn't make it too much better. I'm not sure what I was expecting going into this game, but I'm sure it wasn't this level of disappointment. On the upside, this game does attempt to be a more entertaining experience by adding collectible puzzle pieces along every track. Collecting pieces completes puzzles that, when finished, unlock parts and characters. Still, even with this game is pretty barren, and what's worse is that Garfield Kart 2 didn't fix the issues in the first game, such as the game audio. The characters don't have any voice lines, and the karts don't really make much noise. The first game was worse as there wasn't any engine or road noise at all. I'll take what I can get with this game, but it isn't a replacement for Mario Kart. I would go as far to even say that I wouldn't recommend my friends play this game either. This, however, can't be said of the next game that I would like to talk about today. I'm a little upset that the title isn't Sonic and SEGA All-Stars Racing Transformed, but that title is quite a mouthful, and this is probably why I'm not a part of the marketing team at SEGA. This game was absolutely refreshing after my experience with Garfield Kart, and I am definitely going back to play it after this video. The biggest problem I find with this game is that it is just quite old. This game was released 11 years ago, and it really shows in terms of its graphical performance. This game was really fun, and possibly my favorite part is the announcer voice at the main menu. This part of the game, in a way, reminds me of when I was a kid. I would play Super Monkey Ball, and the announcer in that game would always talk in a similar way. Not sure if it's the same voice, but still brings back memories. As for the actual game, I'm mostly disappointed that there is only one cup available from the start, but what is available from the beginning was fun, and I look forward to coming back to this game from time to time. I'm not sure if it's a feature in Team Sonic Racing, but this game is also close to Mario Kart in that it also features air and water racing, but in a distinctly different, to avoid a Nintendo lawsuit kind of way. And lastly, I would also like to add that I chose this over Team Sonic Racing, as this is just a better Sonic Racing game, and I have the added benefit of not needing to install Denuvo to my computer. Stupid, bloated anti-cheat aside, this next game I found fun, but it has a few shortcomings that make me really not want to play it. Brother, So, Disney's Speedstorm is a pretty solid game at the time of recording. It looks nice, plays nice, and has a lot of nice things going on for you to do and to complete, unlike Garfield Kart. Speedstorm is the only game in this video that currently doesn't cost anything to play, but as a free game, there is of course microtransactions in the form of gacha mechanics. I found that I didn't have any of this shoved in my face, so I'm not sure if it's still there, but knowing Gameloft, I'm willing to bet that this feature hasn't left the game. The worst part of this game from my experience is probably the menu. If you are familiar with mobile games, you will likely recognize this interface as a copy of the menu found in the Asphalt games, namely Asphalt 8 and Asphalt 9. As for the actual gameplay, this game strangely has a lot for you to do right from the start. I don't mean to keep ragging on Garfield Kart, but this game has so much to do when compared to it that it's actually starting to get funny. But honestly, I just wish that this game wasn't aiming to be a mobile game. But for what it is, I think it was a fun time, and it may even go toe-to-toe with Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed in terms of how much I enjoyed it. but, you know, knowing Gameloft, I'm sure that just like in the Asphalt games, there will be a paywall I would eventually hit to make their free-to-play mobile game turn a profit. However, I'm not playing far enough in to find that paywall. The next game I'm looking into here today doesn't have any paywalls, but it was the most expensive game I got for this video at a grand total of $18.50 on sale. So, believe it or not, but my gaming journey started out with the PlayStation 2. I'm not sure how I moved and stuck with Nintendo after all this time afterwards, but I managed to find my way back to PlayStation, and now I'm playing Crash Team Racing for a video. I did play a good amount of the Crash Remastered trilogy around the time it released, and somehow this game follows in its footsteps despite not being a 3D platformer. Crash Team Racing Remastered here is not the hardest racing game, but if I had to choose the Dark Souls of kart racing games, it would definitely be this. But also, in a weird way, this game kind of reminds me of Little Big Planet karting, which I enjoyed that game a lot, but it definitely wasn't as difficult and unforgiving as Crash Kart. Out of all the games that I've played here today, this one was probably the most visually appealing. While Garfield Kart had a stale look to it, Sonic's game was just old, and Disney Speedstorm was a mobile game, this game really seems to take after Mario Kart in the level of detail it has. This game also offers the most comprehensive single-player experience out of every game here, including Mario Kart, as it contains its own single-player challenges to complete and progress. However, I suck at them, so I didn't really make it all that far. And that is all the karting I can take for today. What I learned is that I unfortunately cannot replace Mario Kart, even for as much fun as I may have had with these games. I think I'll stick with what I know, as what I know is reliable and very recognizable, even to those who don't play video games. I hope you enjoyed this little short dive into games like Mario Kart. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you like anything else I do here, please consider subscribing, and I hope to see you in the next one. See ya then.